What's up, everyone? Joseph Parker here, and you're watching Boxing Social.
This is Rob Tebbutt for Boxing Social. I'm delighted to be joined by heavyweight contender Malik Scott. How are you, Malik?
What's going on, brother? Just taking it easy?
Yeah, you taking my microphone off me?
Going to.
Well, you are slightly bigger than me, so I might let you do it if you want to.
I'll let you hold it for right now.
So we're here. We're in London. We're at the Team Hotel ahead of Joseph Parker versus Dillian Whyte this Saturday at the O2. Fight week. You've been sparring with Joseph Parker, is that right?
Yeah, absolutely. Been for the last 4 camps I've been with Team Parker. I've also spent time with Dillian Whyte, who's one of the toughest heavyweights in the world to date, and it's a great fight, and I'm looking forward to it. I'm looking forward to it from a consumer point of view as well. Because like I said, if I can close my eyes and ask for a fight, besides AJ and Deontay, it will be Joseph Parker versus Dillian Whyte. So I'm looking forward to fireworks.
What's it like having that kind of behind-the-scenes look at both guys? Have Team Parker been asking for any insights into Dillian Whyte? I mean, feel free to plead the fifth on that, as Americans say. I mean, what's it been like knowing both guys intimately like that?
Well, I was with Dillian when he fought Anthony Joshua, and I learned a lot about Dillian's character more than his ability for the Anthony Joshua fight, because I was with Dillian when the doctors was telling him he shouldn't fight. He still continued on. He controlled his own training camp, and he went in there and gave Joshua a good fight. I've been with Joe watching him go through his trials and tribulations with injuries and still going through hard training camps and still winning big fights on major stages. So as far as I don't think there's nothing I could tell Dillian, not that I would, and there's nothing I could tell Joseph, not that I would, that would help them for either as far as the fight. Because at this level, I don't really think it's necessary it's about the hard work. It's not necessarily about who's telling who something. Like, you know what I mean? That wouldn't give anyone a benefit in this kind of fight, because this is a high level fight, and it's very intense, and not too many opinions of people matter. What matters is the night of the fight, and I believe they're both going to put on a good show.
What do each person bring to the ring from a technical point of view? I think general consensus is that this is a 50-50 fight, a very well-matched fight, and the styles should blend. Was that something you'd agree with?
Yeah, you never know. You never know. As far as ability is concerned, we all would say that Joseph Parker is the better boxer. He's more elusive. He had, good reflexes. But I think Dillian's defense is underrated, and his arms is very long as well. You think you're out of reach of a guy like that, and you're not. He's able to hit you. And as far as the advantages that they have over each other, Dillian is probably one of the hardest, if not the hardest body puncher, I've spent time with as far as contact, and Joseph Parker is definitely the fastest heavyweight I've been in the ring, or at least top 2, top 3, you know what I'm saying, in my all years of boxing. So, that's what I'm saying. This makes a great fight because they both is at a high level of ability, and they didn't have to fight each other, but they're doing it for the game, and they're doing it for the heavyweight division, and obviously they're doing it to put food on their table. So, with their family as well. So it's a good fight, man. I'm looking forward to it.
Let's just touch on that, because both guys have options. Both guys are very well ranked across all governing bodies, but they've chosen to fight each other. I think that's something that should be applauded in modern boxing. I think a lot of people in boxing, maybe not a lot of people, but certainly some people will take the easy route or the easy avenue. Joseph Parker coming off the back of a defeat. Dillian Whyte has got a solid ranking to protect, particularly with the WBC. Yeah. How important is that these guys are risking it all and fighting each other as opposed to taking the soft touch?
I think it's a testimony on where the heavyweight division is at right now, because for a while people were saying the best heavyweights aren't fighting each other. One of the best going to fight the best. But we are at a time now that you got guys like Joseph Parker. He's fighting Anthony Joshua. He didn't take 3 or 4 fights before this fight. He came right back and fought Dillian Whyte. You got Dillian Whyte, who just clipped Lucas Brown. He didn't ask for something soft. He came back and fought a dangerous Joseph Parker. You got Ortiz that just fought Deontay. So the heavyweight division is sizzling now, not because just people are getting hurt, because the best is starting to fight the best. And this is one of those fights when the best are fighting the best. And like I said, I can't wait to see it.
Tell me about yourself. You've had fights that have been mooted for you. I know you just told me off camera about Maris back. That's now no longer taking place. Where do you stand at the minute in your career?
Right now, I'm just staying busy, staying in shape. I'm always ready for the call. There's been a couple names I was supposed to fight, guys pulled out last minute since my Ortiz fight. So, you can't let the game discourage you, and you can't even let yourself discourage you. I hope that makes sense to most. And you just got to keep your foot on the gas. And in this game, one thing you can always depend on is you're going to get that call. But when that call comes, you got to be ready. So, that's what I'm doing. I'm just staying ready, fit, and always boxing these young lions that's dangerous. Because if I'm not in camp with Joseph Parker, I'm in camp with Deontay. If I'm not in camp with Deontay, I'm down there in camp, with just different guys, just staying sharp and keeping my foot on the gas. I just left camp with Junior 5, who also is a young guy coming up undefeated. So I'm always keeping myself on dangerous territory. Just when the call comes through, I could be ready to go.
How important is it for you? You're somebody who's very well travelled. You've had a long career in the heavyweight. Not too long. You've still got plenty to come, I'm sure. But how important is it for you to be testing yourself, to be spending time with these young lions in camp? I mean, that must give you a boost, must revitalise you while you're waiting for a date.
Oh yeah, definitely, man. Because how can I put it? As nice of a guy as Joseph Parker is, when he gets in the ring, he transforms. The intensity level turns right on. Me and Dillian Whyte had he and ha with each other outside the ring. He gets in the ring and go to the body harder than anybody I ever boxed in my life. Deontay Wilder, we're like brothers. He gets in the ring and try to clip me. Besides the time he did clip me, so it's just stuff that happens, man. But what it does do, it keeps me alert. It keeps me in shape, and it keeps me from not taking anything for granted. Because if you take anything for granted with the kind of guys that I be boxing, you'll end up on your back. So I got to stay on point. I got to stay on alert, and it keeps me ready. So I'm always on point.
Tell me a little bit about the sort of the personal makeup of both Joseph Parker and Dillian Whyte. Two very different characters, people that I have experience with, both in interviews and seen some of Dillian Whyte in the gym. A lot has been made about sort of the way Dillian can try and get into his opponent's head in the build-up to fights. We've seen the Derek Chisora fight, the Lucas Brown, obviously the Anthony Joshua fight. And now you've got Joseph Parker, who is very relaxed, very cool, calm and collected. This fight hasn't really seen an awful lot of the back and forth in the media between them. Is there any reason for that, knowing both guys? Do you think Dillian Whyte is potentially just not interested in that side of it with Joseph Parker? I mean, what's your take on all of that?
No, I think Dillian Whyte is not interested in that part with Joseph Parker because Dillian Whyte has one mission. He wants to hurt Joseph. The respect level is there, but he also respects Joe even more for being a man of his word. He wanted to fight. Joe said, let's do it. The paperwork was done. Everybody was happy, and now they're fighting. As long as you're fighting Dillian Whyte and you're not, running or doing too many things, just trying not to make the fight happen, he's a happy camper. But when he's chasing these guys and they acting like they don't want to fight, then, that's when he becomes, what y'all see. And as far as a character, he can become very grueling, you know what I mean? And, the wild press conferences and stuff like that. But besides that, man, he's a big teddy bear. He just hit very fucking hard to the body. The body snatcher, baby.
What about Joseph Parker? What's it like spending time with Joseph Parker? As we've both
One of the best individuals I ever met in my life. Outside of boxing, inside of boxing, one-on-one conversations, just everything. Like, it's extremely humbling experience in being around individuals like Joseph Parker. And not just me would say that. His friends would say that. His trainers would say that. Everybody. He's a special individual. And, this kid is only 26, 27 years old. So for real, if we really want to talk, Joseph Parker is really ahead of his time. Like, he's already became champion at the early stage of his career. He passed the big test. He went and fought Joshua and had a good showing, in my opinion. And he came right back, and now he's fighting Dillian Whyte. He's still in his 20s. This is ahead of your time kind of stuff. You know what I'm saying? So, and just a good individual. And so the same thing with Dillian. Even though Dillian is mean and you know what I mean, but he's very impulsive. But he's a good dude, very good dude. Like, he'll give you the shirt off his back if he can. And but what I like about it is when they get in the ring, both of them turn the switch on. So fireworks is coming in this fight week, and I'm ready to see it.
Tell me about the Joseph Parker-Anthony Joshua fight. You've just mentioned it, that you felt that he gave a good showing. First person to extend Anthony Joshua the full distance. You were in camp with Joseph Parker in the build-up to that fight, is that correct? Yeah. What was the game plan? It seemed to me, and it's something that I spoke to Kevin Barry about the other day, where he said that they weren't quite expecting Joshua to be as polished, to control the distance as well as he did, to keep Joseph on the end of that jab. Is that something that wasn't sort of worked on or anticipated during camp?
Well, I just think AJ made a good adjustment. I don't necessarily think like that particular fight was worked on in training camp. I believe that both guys made adjustments for the better or for the worse. I think Joseph seen what AJ was doing, and AJ was trying to impose himself, and Joseph wanted to use his reflexes and stay alert, and be, or at least attempt to be relentless with counterpunching whenever he could, and the ref wasn't coming in when they was in close. And I think what Joshua did was just made an adjustment. Now, once he made the adjustment, it became, he's doing a good job at boxing. But I think he came in the fight to knock Joseph out. But once he seen that it wasn't going that way because of how Joseph's movement was, he made an adjustment. And that's what all great champions are good at doing, as making adjustments under the lights the night of the fight. And, much respect to Joshua because he did it that night. And, like Joseph always say after that fight, the best man won.
Staying with Anthony Joshua. Sorry there, you okay? I've just pulled you in from the balcony. You're enjoying a nice cigar. My apologies. Anthony Joshua and Deontay Wilder have been going through these very public negotiations. You've explained that you have a personal relationship with Deontay Wilder. You've sparred him numerous occasions. What do you make of first of all the negotiations between the two in the public?
The public is more entertained by the negotiations than I am, you know what I mean? Because I just want to see him fight, you know what I mean? And I want everybody to be treated fair. I want Deontay to get the funds that he wants. I want AJ to be content, I guess, with the funds that he's used to getting. You know what I mean? I just want all parties to come to an agreement so these two lions, these two kings of the jungle, can get it on. And because, in my opinion, like I always say, this fight is bigger than boxing. It's for the culture. It's for the heavyweight division. It's for the boxing game in general. It's a lot on the line with this kind of fight. But I'm not, believe it or not, if it doesn't happen right now, like it's not, or in a few months, I'm not, this thing can build and build and build and build and build. You know what I mean? I'm enjoying watching this, how can I put it? Because them fighting each other is a masterpiece in general. The pre-fight, the hype up. Even this right now, we're living in the history of a good fight being made, even though it's not happening now. So I'm just enjoying the whole ride of it. You know what I mean? So when they do fight, it's going to be a spectacular thing, a spectacular event. It's going to be something that the heavyweight division or that boxing fans haven't seen in a long time. So I'm looking forward to that as well.
Who do you give the edge to in that fight? You have a personal relationship with Deontay Wilder. You've spent time with him in the ring. What's your breakdown of the fight? I think general consensus is that Anthony Joshua is probably the more polished, well-rounded boxer, but Deontay Wilder has that awkward, sort of otherworldly power. Is that something you'd agree with?
Yeah, the power is definitely there. It's God-given as well. You could train for 30 years of your life and still not gain that kind of power. AJ is blessed with the attributes and gifts he's blessed with. He's probably, in my opinion, as far as combination punching, he's the best combination puncher in boxing. In the heavyweight division. But my personal pick for the fight hasn't changed. I think it's a reminder or a flashback reminder look of the Hearns and Marvin Hagler kind of fight. I think these guys go at it, and I think Deontay wins by knockout. And the reason I believe that is because I believe he's faster. He'll get there first through the cover-up guard. So, we've seen what he do when people just cover up. It's no secret Bermain Stavern had his hands up the whole fight, and that happened to him. There's no secret. And then, Deontay be knocking people out. His most spectacular knockout, we'll say, is Arthur Spilka. And he wasn't even coming forward when he did that. You get what I'm trying to say? So that's something we all know, and that's something that, just to cover up defense, I just don't think that worked well with Deontay, and AJ is good with having his hands up, and I think that gives Deontay opportunity to get through. But we're in the heavyweight division. AJ is extremely special. He's a high combination puncher. He's in great condition, as we see. So I'm sure, he can pull something off too. So, this type of fight, the opinions really don't matter because most people say it's 50-50. I just believe Deontay wins by knockout in 3 rounds.
What's it like being in the ring with Deontay Wilder? You're one of the more polished boxers in the heavyweight division. You're somebody who has a lovely jab. You're very well schooled. Deontay Wilder, from my point of view, does a lot of things wrong in the ring. He doesn't do things by the book, that conventional boxing style that somebody like yourself has. That being said, for somebody who is a well-schooled boxer, what's it like being in the ring with Deontay Wilder, and just how hard does he hit?
He hit extremely hard. I always say, I've been in the ring with Lennox Lewis, Vladimir Klitschko, Deontay. The hardest puncher, in my opinion, is Lennox Lewis. Right after Lennox Lewis is Deontay, then Vladimir. And when you're in the ring with him, I believe it's a method to his madness. Not I believe, I know that it is. It's a method to his madness. He covered good distance. His feet seem all over the place when he has a guy hurt. People always get off of that. When he has someone hurt, then he goes wilder. right? But before that, it's a method to that madness. Like he's sticking a good jab, he's sticking a good jab from the right side, he's sticking a good jab from the left side. When you get so used to that power jab, you forget the right hand is coming. Like, you know what I'm trying to say? So it's almost like you got guys like Bermane Stiverne that went 12 rounds with him that never was the same after that fight. There was no way Bermane was going to make it out of that first round, that second fight. Biomechanically, it just was impossible because the punishment from the first fight, that's why he wasn't fighting that much after that first fight. I just also believe that Deontay, it's no secret, he got one of the best jabs in the business. Like, you know what I'm saying? Strong, straight right hand down the pipe. You know, he's not easy to hit. I guess the reason that, you know, you got guys like Luis Ortiz, who's very imposing in the ring, who I've been in the ring with, and we all see me do the runaround thing. He's very imposing to be in the ring with. Deontay, in my opinion, did so much cool technical stuff in that fight before the actual knockout that, you know, it was science and it was art for anybody that really recognized the sport for what it is. So I think it's a method to his madness. I think if you're hurt, you're in deadly trouble with him. And I feel as though, like, you know, right now he's the best heavyweight in the world.
In your humble opinion, it's just one man's opinion, but it's a good opinion to give from somebody who's been in the ring with both men. Talk to me a little bit about that Luis Ortiz fight, Deontay Wilder, for the first time in. He's been buzzed, or he's been stunned a little bit in other fights. I know that Eric Molina got to him. But that's the first time I've ever seen Deontay hurt. He was caught with that check right hook from Luis Ortiz, and yeah, that started it. And he was in trouble. Bearing in mind that he came through the other side and scored a knockout, how important is that, and how much will he gain from going through that process against Luis Ortiz as he moves forward?
Well, I look at it like this. He's an extremely confident man going into the Luis Ortiz fight. So, you know, if anybody know with going through any type of thunderstorms you may make it through in life, better yet in a boxing ring, it just adds on to, I don't want to say your ego, but it adds on to your ego, it adds on to your confidence, it adds on to your ability. So now I think that just made him 10 times better. You know what I'm trying to say? I think the experience that AJ had with Vladimir getting knocked down and getting up, I think it made him 10 times better. I believe, look, those two heavyweights, when they go through these kind of things, it's making them better for each other. And that's the sexy part. If they can continue to do what they're doing, and they're almost like perfectly made for each other. They both continue to win and they continue to fight. It's just a lot to look forward to in the heavyweight division. Like, you know what I mean? I'm looking forward to it. I'm looking forward to AJ fighting Povetkin. Everybody's writing Povetkin off. He's one of the most dangerous heavyweights in the world. I'm not sure who Deontay is going to fight, but word is it's going to be Dominique Brazil. Dominique Brazil went 5-6 tough rounds with AJ. He made him work. And, you know, that's another job Deontay has to get done. We can't take none of this shit for granted with these guys. You know what I'm saying? So I just feel as though, you know, the guys that's champion right now is the best in the heavyweight division right now. But I also believe the guys that's under them, that's coming, have the ability to take the titles. So that's what you call a division that's sizzling. When the champions are the champion for a reason, but the young lions that's coming have the ability to take their crowns from them. So it's a lot.
As you say, people are seemingly writing off Alexander Povetkin, former Olympic gold medalist. Yeah, to be fair, I agree with you. Maybe not something that I should say on camera and give my own opinion, but I agree. I think Alexander Povetkin is a very dangerous heavyweight. Why do you feel that people are writing him off? Do you think it's a case of anybody who Anthony Joshua didn't face called Deontay Wilder would have been criticised, or are people reading too much into Alexander Povetkin's last fight against David Price? Why do you think that is?
I think people just writing him off because of who he is fighting. I don't think there's nobody AJ fought that people didn't write off, especially the UK side of things. Like, you know what I mean? So, but to write off a guy like Povetkin, I don't agree with that at all. You know, he looked okay against Price, but he still clips Price in grand fashion. Like, you know what I mean? And, you know, I didn't really like to see that, you know, because I like the kind of character David Price is. You know, I'd be wanting him to do good, you know, but I want him to do good so much that I wish he just stopped boxing. Like, you know, I don't want to see nobody continue to go through that. But Povetkin is dangerous, and not just dangerous for AJ. He's dangerous for any heavyweight in the world. And if you take him lightly, like I know AJ is not going to do, he's going to train just as hard for Povetkin as he would for Wilder. It's going to be a great fight. And can AJ get it done in grand fashion? Yes, but it won't be because Alexander Povetkin is a bum, or he can't fight, or he's overrated. It'll be because AJ is just that good. You know what I'm saying?
Lastly, on Deontay Wilder, it seems to me that he's improved immeasurably under Mark Breland. Is that something you'd agree with? His technical aspect of his game seems to have come on leaps and bounds in recent memory.
Yeah, just over the years, them working with each other, you know what I mean? And if you see Mark's style when he was fighting, and you see Deontay, the shoulder, the long jab, lethal right hand, you know, they complement each other and they gel well. So I'm sure over the years it has made huge improvement. But I think Deontay's strongest point and his best attribute is his mental toughness. You know what I mean? He's an extremely mentally tough individual. And no doesn't mean no. He doesn't know how to spell quit. He doesn't know how to spell no. He doesn't, like, you know, that kid, he's on 100 miles and going, like, you know what I'm saying? So he always believed there's a chance to get anything done. You know what I'm trying to say? And and even people that he have around him, he wants them to feel that kind of way. Like, you know what I'm saying? So, you know, it's just, well, the heavyweight division is a beautiful thing right now. People have been asking for this, and I hope they are as grateful as I am to see what it's manifesting into, because it's a beautiful thing right now. Even the young lions that's coming, the Jarrell Millers, the thing that Tony Bellew just did to David Haye. You got Gerald Washington, he just came back. You got Joseph Parker. You got fucking Dillian Whyte. You got Alexander Povetkin. Like, and then you just have guys that just coming and hungry guys. Like, you know what I mean? It's guys that's 5-0. Fucking Joe Joyce. Joe Joyce, in my opinion, could fight anybody right now. He's 5-0, Olympic silver medalist. He just went with Abel Sanchez. He's leaving today to go and start working with Abel. This kid can fight anybody right now. He's Commonwealth champion with 5 fights. He just fought a good friend of mine named Linroy Thomas. No one has ever done that to Linroy. Just walk to him and walk through him like that. Like, you know what I mean? And the Juggernaut made easy work of him that night. Linroy tried, but too big, too imposing. You know what I mean? Too good, better man on that night. But no one does that to Linroy. And Linroy has been boxing Ortiz, Deontay. I had him when I fought Ortiz. He goes all over. He's been boxing Anthony Joshua. So, like, I mean, and for Joe Joyce to go in there and do what he did like that, it says a lot about Joe Joyce, and it says a lot about his growth already. Ahead of his time, too, even though he's 32, 33 years old. He's going to be a huge problem in the heavyweight division. Huge.
Just lastly, the undercard on Saturday features one of your ex-opponents, Derek Chisora. Derek Chisora's fighting Carlos. It's okay. I'm prepared. It's fine. How do you see that fight going?
I haven't seen much of Takam, but I've seen enough to know he's tough. He's not sloppy. He's in condition. You know, and we know Chisora right now is on a get back, I believe. I mean, he's had a couple wins after the. No, he lost to Whyte, and then after Whyte, he had a fight or two.
Caballo.
Oh, he haven't fought since Caballo? No.
I think he's had the comebacks.
Yeah, and I think I was at ringside at one of them. No, he fought Pulev before Whyte. Then he fought Whyte, and then after Whyte, he fought. No, he fought Caballo before he fought Whyte. No, either fucking way, man. He's hungry. He's training, and he's another one. It's no secret how tough he is. I know personally because I shared the ring with him in a fight. When he came to Cali, we sparred a lot of rounds. Another tough individual. That's a pick-em fight, 50-50. I'm looking forward to that as well. Like, you know what I mean? I really don't know who's going to win. I'm looking forward to it. It's a good fight. It's just another. I look at it like they're all another statement of boom, the heavyweight division. You know what I mean? Boom, the heavyweight division. Like, you know what I'm saying? And you have to say shout out to Eddie Hearns, because he's a part of this shit that's manifesting with this heavyweight division. So especially over here. So it's like, you know, because that card, just the poster of it looked like one of the best. It looked like a throwback card that Don King used to promote when tough contenders are fighting tough contenders. Remember, like, Terry Norris will fight Simon Brown. On that same card, Maurice Blocker will fight Trinidad. Then Razor Reddick will be fighting Tyson. Those kind of cards are resemblance to me on what's going on over here now under Matchroom. So it's a good thing. I'm looking forward to it. I'm enjoying the visual. Just, you know, seeing how it's manifesting, like I said before. Just keep me breathing good and alive every day, baby. I'm alive and breathing because the heavyweight division is.
That might be one of the first times I've heard an American give Eddie Hearn credit. What do you make?
I'm a factual guy. I only go off the facts.
Absolutely. With that being said, what do you make of all of the criticism Eddie Hearn has received stateside about the Anthony Joshua-Deontay Wilder negotiations?
That's like I get that as well. You You know what I mean? Because I really get it because I want Deontay to get his shot with AJ, and I don't want to say get his shot like he's not champion. I'm gonna say I want them to fight each other. Eddie is a businessman, and we all know this. And AJ is a businessman, and Deontay is a businessman. This is all business arguments. That's all this shit is. Like, it's just gnats. It's just gnats. Like, you know what I mean? So once all these gnats get out the way, these two guys will collide. The best man will win, how guys see it. Then the next day in history after, we'll be talking about how good of a fight it was. And that's the other part I'm looking forward to. Because then afterwards, you got people that's going to be saying, I told you Deontay was going to win. No, I told you that AJ was going to win. So, even that dialogue is sexy, just seeing people do shit like that about it. Because I look at it like, at the end of the day, whoever wins, allow boxing to win. So either way, we on the ups. And I'm just as happy as the consumer is for that kind of shit. Yeah, man.
Okay, well, Malik King Scott, thank you very much for speaking to Boxing Social. Just before we go, I'd like you to send a message to fans who are going to be tuning in to watch Joseph Parker against Dillian Whyte this Saturday at the O2. You know both men extremely well. Sell it to me, Malik.
All UK fans, all fans around the world, get ready for one of the most important fights right now in the heavyweight division. You got lightning fast Joseph Parker fighting a very, very hard body snatcher Dillian Whyte. I've experienced being in the ring with both guys. May the best man win. The heavyweight division is cracking. The heavyweight division is sexy. And these two guys is making another stamp on why boxing is alive and breathing. Salute.
That was very good. Try and take my job.
And it's truthful. Right, usually people that talk like that is lying. Like, I'm being honest. Like, you know what I mean? But shout out to the heavyweight division. Dillian Whyte, good luck, brother. Joseph Parker, good luck, brother. You prepared well. I'm sure Dillian did too, and I'm looking forward to it.
Okay, well, Malik King Scott, thanks very much for speaking to Boxing Social. Look forward to catching up with you in the week. Take care. Cheers, man. Thank you. It's great.